Would you prefer stellar or rogue?
You can do rogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you give us your Twitter bio introduction? Because you gave us, ours, but
it's nice though.
Or yours.
My Twitter?
Yeah, because you said like, do you recall your Twitter bio introduction?
I made that a little while ago, so I do not remember.
Okay, I'll do it for you. So, in your Twitter bio, you say you're a stripper, physics student, pro slut, star model, bimbo, curvy, adventurer, foodie, bookworm and kink fiend, exotic dancer, stripper, adult entertainer, and assistant in the plastic surgery office.
Yeah, that's why I didn't remember it, because it's a lot of things in a row.
Let's start with pro slut.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm just really good at it, at being slutty. Just living this.
What does that mean?
I feel like to be a slut is it's a term that comes out of society for someone who is obviously just a little bit more promiscuous. But I feel like sluts have a lot of fun, and we get a bad rap about that. So, pro slut.
Oh, so sluts get a bad rap.
Yeah, I'm an ethical slut.
What is that?
It means that, for example, like if I'm not gonna like hit on you if you are in a relationship. I'm not gonna try to get with your partner or anything like that unless you guys both consent. I'm like really into consent. I'm really into, we can have fun, but people have boundaries, and I respect those boundaries.
Ethically.
I
thought that meant like carbon neutral semen or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My carbon footprint.
Like organic semen only. Grain fed. Okay, cool. I've learned something.
So when you say slut, what do you mean?
I would say slut is just a term meaning a girl who's more promiscuous. It's more of a modern day slang term for promiscuous, I would say.
Sure. Okay. All right. And so you're in favor of promiscuity?
I'm in favor of people doing whatever the they want, as long as it's not hurting physically or mentally abusing others.
Do you think that hookup culture is a good thing or a bad thing?
I feel like it is a bad thing if it's done the wrong way.
How so?
I feel like people go into something wanting, like for example, someone is looking for a relationship, another person is looking just to smash, and the person that's looking for a relationship gets hurt. But if the person is, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship, I just want to smash, do you consent to just doing that? Then I feel like people get less hurt. I think hookup culture it's kind of like lying. It's trying to get into somebody's pants without being forward that that's all you want from them. Okay.
And so hookup culture bad, but with caveats. Is that your position kind of?
Yeah.
Or? Okay. So, I mean, what's the difference between promiscuity and hookup culture?
That is a very good question. I would say promiscuity is having a very large sex drive and that you want to, smash. And hookup culture is just going out there, not really giving a crap about the other person in front of you and just taking what you need from somebody. And I feel like that's the difference. You're not giving that person the ability to bow out of that situation. They're thinking they're getting something like a relationship or like a first date that's going to maybe go into something else, but that person is only doing that thing to get to a final end. Does that make sense? Brian's like, no. He's got all of the wheels turning.
Okay. Well, I'll get more into that a bit later, but I do want to get into your notes here. So you said you've had some wild experiences on dating apps and at events, including navigating polydynamics through the dating app, meeting people in the adult entertainment world. When you were in your early 20s, you were dating a 60-year-old lawyer in town. He had a wife you didn't know about, and craziness ensued, like things being stolen, propane tanks being thrown through windows, pepper spray, etc. So why don't you tell us the story?
Wow, you really did research. Okay, I was 19 years old. I was working at my friend's Chinese restaurant, and this guy comes in, and he was getting his Corvette washed across the street, and I obviously, take his order and stuff like that. He thinks I'm cute. He gives me his number, and he originally gave me his number to offer me a job. And I was like, cool, like I'm in school, I'd love to make more money than just being a waitress. So he ended up owning a casino building, not like a big casino, but a small like casino. And when he realized that I wasn't 21, he's like, oh, well, I can't give you a job, but he even wanted other things. So I didn't know this at the time. I was just a little lady. So I kind of went over to his casino. He had a bar down there. I played some games with him, and then I kicked his butt at air hockey, and he wanted to take me on a shopping spree. So I went to San Francisco. So fast forward all the boring stuff. That's how we met.
Could we do that, please?
Yes. A little bit of background. But so he ended up having a wife I had no idea about. We were in I was with my brother on New Year's, and I got this crazy text of this girl basically cussing me out, saying that she was his wife, all this stuff. I message him and I say, what is this person messaging me? You never told me you were married. There was no pictures or anything at his house. There was no women's clothing, jewelry, anything. Like, his house didn't have any female presence in it whatsoever. He told me they were separated, and I was like, okay, so he was still married, but he didn't let me know. Well, things got a little crazier because he offered to have me come to his guest house. He said that his separated wife was staying at the main house right now because she was in between traveling. And so he invited me over, and I did. Well, she saw us through the window and lost her mind. She pushed open the door. At this point, he is like removing all my stuff, like trying to hide my presence, which I was like, what? He threw me out the window in the snow. So I had like shoes, a dress, and that's it. And he was like, run. And I was like, run in the woods in the snow at like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, I went up across the side of the building. Well, she knocks the door down, and then I just hear screaming. So I guess what happened was she pepper sprayed him. And it was very loud and scary sounding. I thought she stabbed him like multiple times, but it was pepper spray.
And this is the 60-plus-year-old lawyer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long were you dating him for?
I think at that point, like 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 19.
19? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So pretty significant age gap there.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy. It just kind of happens. I was expecting like getting a job out of it, and it kind of turned into more. But I mean, I wasn't very smart back then. Like, I've been through some stuff now, so I would definitely see that coming. But yeah, that was not good, and she was scary. She like stuck her head out.
Was it like a typical like sugar relationship? Like, he'd pay for all your shit and things like that?
I honestly wish it was. It was so much more drama than it was worth.
Was he paying for your stuff, giving you an allowance, anything like that?
No, he just wanted to travel with me, and like he would just buy me nice things.
Did he travel with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where did you guys go?
We just went up and down the coast of California and stayed at nice places and shopped around. And
okay, so he'd shop for you. He'd buy things for you.
Yeah, he would buy things for me.
Okay.
But I don't think at that time I knew what
so it was
being a sugar baby was.
Okay, well that's a sugar relationship. Yeah. Like when he's like looking after you.
I was thinking more of we were.
Maybe he didn't give you that much money, but it's still a sugar relationship.
Yeah, at that time I didn't know what that was. Yeah. I was 19, and enough. That was what, 10, 12 years old.
And how old was he? 60?
He was 62,
damn.
I think.
Jesus Christ.
He looked really good. He was a great 62. He looked a lot like Robert Downey Jr., so.
You got to show me a photo later. I got to see this, man.
Were you with him after the pepper spray incident as well?
At that point, things got really weird.
After the pepper spray?
After the pepper spray, yeah. So she stuck her head out the window and was trying to find me like a velociraptor, and I was pushed up against the wall, like heart pounding, and she was freaking looking for me. And he called the cops on her, and she went to jail that night. And then I climbed back through the window.
So you fought with a 60-year-old woman as well?
No, she went to jail. I never like physically was.
So you had a grandma chasing you, trying to fight you. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
And she stole my knife out of my duffel bag that I got for Christmas, and I was so scared that she was going to stab him and blame it on me.
Who got you a knife for Christmas?
My friend.
Good friend.
Yeah. So that was scary.
So I want to open this up to the entire panel. This is a pretty substantial age gap relationship. Perhaps when I'm having this conversation, I'm not thinking of an age gap relationship quite this big, but perhaps a 35 and a 25-year-old or a 30 and 20-year-old, something like that. So Do you, going around the panel, object to age gap relationships? Starting with you, go ahead.
Great question, by the way.
I would say I think it's not a great idea if you are under the age of 25.
Oh, the prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, just from experience,
thing.
guys.
Okay.
From experience, it's
Your
not a great
current
idea.
relationship, is there an age
Yeah,
gap?
10 years. But we got together.
But it's a bad idea.
But we got together when I was 28. So prefrontal cortex has been created.
You got together with your current guy at 20? Or are you talking about the lawyer guy?
No, my current relationship.
You got together when you guys were 20?
28.
Oh, 28.
8.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm 32.
Okay.
And he's 42.
And he's 42.
I think a lot of people who are object to age gap relationships would even object to that. But so 10 years, you said? Or what's the gap?
10 years is the gap for us. But I would say age gap relationships are bad if you're under the age of like 25.
Okay, so you can only have an age gap relationship after 25.
I mean, everyone can do what they want, but yeah, I feel like it would be better. It would be a better idea
25.
after 25.
Okay. Your thoughts?
I don't think it's smart, but I think it's okay.
Not smart on whose part? The older person or the younger person?
I say both because, like, how old are they going to, like, pass sooner, and health issues? There's just a lot of things that tie into it.
Such as?
Like, you've more experience, less experience.
Do you?
Like, what do you mean? Do I what?
Well, like, let's say I gave you an example where there was a 20-year-old woman who had more experience than the 30-year-old man. Would you no longer object to it?
Wait, 22 and 30?
The 20-year-old woman
Oh,
has
20.
more experience than the 30-year-old
I
man.
don't think that matters. Well,
You don't think what?
no, that doesn't matter.
What does it? So you'd still object to the age gap?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not about experience then. What is it about?
Maybe experience in life, not sexually.
Yeah, a 20-year-old woman could have more life experience
That's true.
than a 30-year-old.
Okay.
Maybe she's traveled the world. Maybe he's been very sheltered.
Mm.
You could even reverse the genders too. Someone could be very sheltered even into their 30s.
Mm.
You could encounter somebody who's involved in the arts in some way, music, actor, athlete. They've traveled the world.
That's true.
Fucking 18-year-old Justin Bieber probably had more life experience than 40-year-old people living in the Midwest.
With Diddy.
So, oh boy.
Oh, God. Oh,
Sure,
no.
you got a lot of experience.
But so in any case, it sounds like you're not thrilled. You're not a fan of age gap relationships.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And do you think that, kind of like her, do you think there is an age where it does become a bit more appropriate?
I don't think a minor should be dating like someone who's super old.
Well, just to be clear, so when I'm talking about age gap relationships,
Yeah.
I'm talking about adult relationships.
Okay.
So let's just
Oh,
put aside
okay.
minors. So when I say adult, it could be an
Adults.
18-year-old, but we're
I
not
don't
talking
think-
about minors.
No,
We're
then I
talking
don't think
about
it matters.
adult men or women.
Yes.
So 18 and up who are dating, could be 20s, 30s, older. Could be 25, 35, whatever it is.
I don't think the age matters from start.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think you have to be 20 to start if you want an age gap.
So you don't have a problem with age gap relationships?
I don't think it's good, but if you're going to be in one, I don't think there's a set limit of what time
Right,
it
so
can start.
you agree that people can be in age gap relationships.
Yeah.
There's obviously no law against it.
Oh, am I for them? I'm not for them.
You're against them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for what reasons, if you want to just re-articulate them?
It just seems off to me. It doesn't seem appropriate. I don't know.
Gives you
why.
the ick?
You could say so.
Gives you the ick? Okay. Why?
Like I said, experience, but you said you.
Experience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I'll even grant you that it's more likely that somebody who's older is going to have more life experience than somebody who's younger on a balance of probabilities. But anything else besides the experience component?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can recall right now.
Okay, sure. Your thoughts on age gap relationships? Yay, nay?
I think it's really common. I don't really have like anything against it because I feel like a lot of people when they get into their 30s or 40s, like you're not exactly like asking people how old you are. Rather, when you're like in your 20s, I feel like it's more common. So I don't really have anything against it. I think it's pretty normal now to have like an age gap relationship.
Mm-hmm. And then I do want to add this also. would you be in an age gap relationship? And then I already asked you this one, but have you been in one? So going back to you really quick. So have you had an age gap relationship?
How big of a gap? Like 5 years?
Sure.
No, I haven't.
Okay. And then would you be in an age gap relationship? So you're 18. Would you date a guy who's 28? If you were single?
Yeah, if I was single, yes.
What's the oldest you would date if you were single?
Probably 26.
26. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you are in a relationship, but if you weren't, would you be in an age gap relationship?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. What's the oldest you would date?
Probably like 26 to 28.
Okay. And then going back, it sounded like your actual view on the age gap relationships was what again?
It's like positive. I feel like it's super normal now. I don't have anything
Pretty
against
common.
it.
Okay.
I feel like when you get older, you like don't start to care about like your age. Like you don't ask.
Sure. Okay. I think viewers did it go red? No. Oh, okay. Viewers, just refresh. I think there's also some people are saying there's an issue with the audio. How long has it been lagging? Okay, sorry guys, give me... Okay, sorry guys. Give us 1 sec, we're getting a little bit of lag. I think if you guys refresh the stream, it should be fine. If you guys go ahead and refresh the stream.
You're live on Twitch as well?
Yeah, we're also live on Twitch, so if you guys want to refresh over there on Twitch, should be fine. Let me just double check here. Looks okay, but keep an eye on it if you can. And then, how old's your current boyfriend?
He's 19 right now,
good.
so he's just
Can
a
you
year older.
Can you tilt your mic down just a bit?
Yeah.
What about you? So you are sorry, excuse me.
My thoughts?
Yeah, your thoughts on age gap relationships?
I mean, yeah, I feel like there's not much like, I don't know, it's positive. I don't really mind. It doesn't affect me.
Okay. Would you be in an age gap relationship?
Not like a huge one, but maybe like 6 years max.
6 years, so okay. You're 18, so you would date like 23, 24?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. What about you, your thoughts?
I feel like now it could be a little weird, like at this age it's a little weird, but I feel like when you're like 70 dating or married to like a 60-year-old, it's not that big of a deal at that point in life. But at this point, I don't know, I mean, I don't mind it, I don't have anything against it, but
Sure.
I personally don't think I would be in a very age gap relationship.
And, how old's your boyfriend?
He's 19.
19, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then what about you?
I'm in an age gap relationship.
Okay, so you're 37. How old's your
He's going to be
fiance?
50.
50.
Yeah, he'll be 50
so
on
that's
Halloween.
13, 14 years?
13 years.
Okay. And sorry, you were about to say what?
He turns 50 on Halloween.
On Halloween. Okay. Can you tilt your mic down just a little bit? And if you want, scoot into the table just a tad.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let's see. And have you had prior age gap relationships?
No, the biggest gap before then was probably like 5-6 years tops.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Was there any hesitations when you were initially getting into it about the age difference or no?
No.
Okay. All right. What about you? You're 33. Ever had an age gap relationship? Thoughts on age gap relationships?
I'm okay with them, and I've not really fully dated someone who's an age gap, but I've like been on dates with people.
What's the oldest guy that you would date?
Right now, 47.
47. Okay. All right. What your guys' thoughts on age gap relationships? For, against?
I mean, I've been with girls older than me, like 10 years older, 15 years older, and I've also been with girls younger than me. When it comes to like sex, I don't really mind too much, but dating would be a little bit different. I would want to date someone that's a little bit more like closer to my mindset. So. Sure. I mean, when I was single, like I'm 38 now, even when I was like 36, I was still like with 23, 24, 25-year-olds. But and vice versa, I also had women in their mid-40s. So, I mean, it's not really any different. It was kind of the same. But if it comes to dating, then yeah, obviously I want someone within a 5-year age range.
Got it. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think like the closer you are together, the closer your life experience, and I think that usually makes for a more compatible relationships. Some of the best ones I've had is with people that are closer to my age, and then also I've seen like you guys have probably seen. I won't drop names, but there's like some pseudo alpha kick streamer dudes which are in their like late 30s and they'll date 18-year-olds, and it just seems a bit exploitative. And like either way, I don't know, I feel like if you're exploiting the age gap a little bit too much, it's kind of like not really a vibe. And I feel like, yeah, you're more compatible when you're closer in terms of life experience. So that's what's worked for me. And so yeah.
Well, I'm not sure entirely who you're referring to. I do know there were like some kick streamers where it was very below.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's certainly objectionable.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I'm glad you know.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Did you find that a bit like that was pretty bad?
Well, yeah, they were. I mean, they were underage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very
So
bad.
that's like the darkest end of age gaps, is what I'm saying. So it's like it can get pretty bad.
Right, but so I mean, for the context of this conversation, obviously, I think if you're underage, objectionable.
Yeah.
But we're talking here, adult.
Yeah, no, I
18
think adults, the closer you are, the better your life experience, the more compatible you most likely will be. So statistically.
Well, let me ask you a question, Liam. Which you're how old are you again?
36.
36. In terms of, let's remove like personality, compatibility, commonality, all that. What age do you find most physically attractive?
For me personally, it's hard to say because like I'm surrounded by so many. We've got 700 creators that work for us, and like I've seen people in their 30s that look better than some people who are in their 20s and vice versa. So it's really hard to say like at what age someone is at their peak. Like, I mean, look, I'll give you a prime example. I think I peaked in my 30s. I wouldn't date 19-year-old me at all. So, like, I think it's less about the age. It's just about how you look after yourself and at what point do you peak, you know, physically. Because have you seen the same? People peak at different ages, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of it more so from like, so when
I think it's more like it's much more than just looks, bro. I think what he's trying to say is like on a mindset kind of level. You know what I mean? Like, what do you find most like? What age generally do you find most attractive? Like, yeah, there's always outliers, older women, younger women, but we're just like speaking like the median age here. What would you say is like?
I think when someone gets to like 29, 30, they're usually like cognitively developed pretty well. Yeah, for me, from my experience anyway, that's what I've seen.
I don't know. I met a lot of.
But there's some insinuating factors
not so cognitively developed 30-years-olds.
There's some BPD outliers.
I think that depends on how hard they party in their 20s, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, partying and some other stuff, but
I mean, I think intelligence is all genetic. To be honest, like. I partied like a fucking motherfucker in my 20s, but I'm still successful now, like, and I'm almost 40. So I think it just comes down to like, you know, a lot of it's genetics, a lot of it's hard work, and a lot of it is like, yeah, if you really truly want something, you'd go for it. You'd work hard at it, you know. I don't think partying or anything like that has anything to do with it, to be honest. I still party now. I'm successful as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Humble too.
Very humble. Very humble. You got to keep it real, man. It's just how it is, you know what I mean? So if you're good at what you do, you got to praise it. I think humble is a fucking horrible word. It keeps people down here because extraordinary people, they always aim higher. So using the word humble just kind of like puts you to the level of everyone else. So
completely
don't ever say that word. Fuck humble.
No, I
you should be proud of your achievements, no matter what.
I consider
whatever you're good at.
A slur to say humble.
Yeah. When people are like, oh, be humble, bro.
I have
be
a
humble.
question.
Why be humble?
Where do you draw the line between cocky
That's a good
and
question.
humble?
That's a fine line. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a super fine line, and I tread it every day. I would say, look, it really depends. Like, you just got to be yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a cocky guy, confident, humble, shy, quiet, whatever, like, it really doesn't matter. You just got to be you, and you can't be anyone other than yourself. You know, so someone telling you to be humble or someone telling you to be more confident, you know, you just got to be yourself. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously, there's like. If you were to draw the line, I would probably say, like, you still got to be polite to people. You got to be nice. You know, when you're making conversation with someone, you got to look at their eyes. You got to address them by their name. You got to shake hands. You just, like, as a man, you still have to be a gentleman. But there's nothing wrong with being confident. And you know what? A degree of cockiness is actually a good thing. It takes you a long way. It takes you a long way in life. It gets you the jobs that you want to get. It gets you the dates and the women that you're trying to get.
Like fake it till you make it kind of thing.
Not necessarily. Being cocky and faking something is the two different things. Like, you can be confident and you can be cocky, but being fake, that always shows very, very quickly.
Okay.
So you can be a confident and a cocky guy, but obviously, like, you know, there's limits. You wouldn't like, you can't be too quiet and too shy, but you can't be like overly cocky. But I think confidence in any of the sex is super sexy. It's an attractive feature, and I think more women and men should be confident in themselves. You know, we're all different. We're not, like, none of us are the same. Guys, girls, like, we all bring different things to the table. So I think it's important that, you know, we celebrate that and we're confident in that. So just when I heard my boys say, like, humble this, humble that, I'm just like, no, man, like, you shouldn't be humble. You should be really proud.
I hate the word.
You should be really proud of who you are, what you've achieved, you know, and your friends should be proud, your family should be proud. So that's just my take on it.
Agreed.
Curious, though, to the ladies here, would any of you who maybe bump your oldest guy you would date if it was Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Henry Cavill?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Henry Cavill? There you go. All right. Let's see here. And then I guess going back to you two,
Yeah.
I'm still looking to actually hear an argument as to why it's wrong, though.
I mean, I feel like if you're very old and you're dating, just from my experience, dating like an 18, 19-year-old, you're taking advantage of that person for sure.
How so?
I believe that the majority of people older, at least 10, 15 years older than an 18, 19-year-old, I think they do have a lot more life experience. I feel like it's very rare for an 18, 19-year-old to have a lot of experience unless they're a celebrity and they've come from a certain family backgrounds. But the majority of time, most 18, 19-year-olds are not as confident or really know themselves or what they like, what they don't like. And I feel like older people can take advantage of that very easily.
How would they take advantage of that?
Sexually, or having, using them as kind of arm candy or a way to kind of show off to others that they can get somebody younger. I don't feel like it's really in that person's best interest. I feel like there's something that person wants. That's the only thing I can come up with, at least.
Wait, the
older gentleman or person or woman
what?
too. I don't know, to maybe groom that person to be their perfect mate, maybe. They're still kind of coming into their own. They're still figuring out who they are. And when you're with someone that much older, you can kind of tell them what they like.
Can you define what grooming is in this context?
I would say showing somebody a life and telling them what they like by certain situations.
Wait, so couldn't this be an expectation you encounter in any relationship regardless of age? So don't you teach your partner your likes, your dislikes, and vice versa?
Yes, but usually those people have their likes and dislikes already developed, not someone who's learning what they like and dislike. So if I'm with somebody who is around my same age and they already know what they like and dislike, we have the opportunity to be like, I don't like that, and kind of dip into the void. Where someone who's 18 and 19, like, oh, well, I've never experienced that before, I guess I'll try it. And then you get, I don't know, they get put into a situation that might not be the best for them.
Like what?
Maybe they put their own dreams on the back burner instead of trying to develop what they feel like would be beneficial to them.
What's wrong with that?
Well, if the relationship doesn't work out, you're kind of SOL. I feel like one thing I definitely learned is always have your own money. Like always have your own money. Because when I was dating the older guy when I was 19, he had me quit my job so we can travel. And then if I didn't hear from him for a couple of days, how can I eat? How can I do anything?
Was he paying you an allowance or anything like that? There wasn't like any sugar daddy component?
If I was me now, there would have been stipulations. But when I was 19, I didn't ask for anything. I just was along for the ride. And
wait, so hold on. So were you living rent-free with him?
No.
How long did the relationship last?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. So you're saying you were financially harmed because you were dating him? Is that your...
I would say I wasn't looking out for my best interest. I stopped going to college and getting good grades. I kind of put this adventure that he presented to me as being the important thing when I should have made the important thing making a future for myself.
Couldn't this happen at any age, though? I don't really see how it
I was
pertains
about to say the same thing. I feel like at any age it can happen. Like, obviously, like not to the extent of like say like an 18-year-old with like a 30-year-old, but still like even like a 30-year-old with a 50 or 60-year-old, you could still be putting a lot of your own dreams, a lot of your own interests on the back burner of a more successful, more powerful man. You know?
I
because
think
there is a power dynamic with the age difference. No matter whether you're 18 or whether you're 30, there's always going to be a power dynamic.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I agree with that. But I feel like as someone who is 32, I feel like I've already lived a lot of life, and I can have a better.
Let me tell you something.
Sense.
I'm 38. I'm a different man than when I was 32. You're constantly changing. You're constantly learning new things. What I like now, I didn't like when I was 32, and I guarantee the same thing will happen to you and everyone else in this room. So
I can see that.
That's just coming from a bit of older man experience here. We're always changing and we're always thinking of different things. So just don't be too quick to think like that, because it's like Brian said, it's applicable to any age. I feel like just in general, when there's a big power dynamic and a difference in age, it's going to happen either way.
Okay,
whether
so
you're 18
saying,
or whether you're 30, it's going to happen either way.
Okay, so you're basically saying that you should date in your lane.
If you're dating, yes, you should date. Like if you want to be in line with someone on the same morals, values, life experience, I would say date within a 5-year age range.
But if you date somebody who is more powerful than you, you should step into their lane.
Well, that's normally what happens. You know, whether you like it or not, that's just what happens. It's the power balance, it's the imbalance of power, to be honest. When a man's like 20 years older than you, has more money, has a far more advanced career than say like a 30, 25-year-old woman, it's just naturally what happens. The woman naturally adopts and takes on what the alpha brings to the relationship, which is a man. So if the man's got like, more money, more assets, more life experience, then the woman is just by nature, she's going to follow.
But would you be okay with like your partner? Would you support them if they wanted to do something else?
Well, in my situation, my partner's 3 years younger than me, so she has her own career, I've got my own career, I support her, she supports me. In general, if I had a younger partner, it would be a different dynamic, to be honest. Because I'm successful, I feel like she wouldn't have to be following her own path. She could if she wanted to, but I would offer her a different life and she wouldn't have to be trying to, like, I guess, chase her own dreams and hopes, because essentially she wouldn't have to work, you know what I mean? So I would offer her that, but if she wanted to do something else, then that's her prerogative. But in saying that, which is why I think it's important to date within like a 5-year age range, so it's like you guys are at the same kind of level,
Yeah, and I totally understand that, but my only problem is, unless that comes with a ring, if somebody dumps you and you don't put yourself at least a little bit first, you're kind of left back where you were. You're back at square one.
So what do you mean by that?
I feel like you got to protect yourself. Unless you know this relationship's for real, you got to have your own
So
plans.
How would you protect yourself? What, by having a plan B? Or?
I would protect myself by making sure that I am investing in myself, so that if something, what happens if you die? Like that person's still got to do something.
It's always important to look after, like, obviously yourself first, but like I feel like when you're in a relationship, if you truly love each other, not like this fake situationships and just like temporary little like flings and all that. If you truly love someone, you know if they're about that life, and you know if they want,
But when you're stepping into
somebody's
somebody's lane,
hold on, you gotta let them finish.
Oh, I apologize. Go ahead.
It's all right. So yeah, you just want to know, like, you can normally tell these things. So I've been in many relationships. I can tell when a relationship genuinely isn't going to perpetuate into anything more than just say like a relationship. And I've been in relationships where there've been so much more, when I'm like, okay, cool, I could actually marry this girl. And there's nothing wrong with either one, but you got to pick them and realize them for what they are. So if you're in one of those relationships and deep down, and we all have this innate like feeling in our gut, we can tell if this person is gonna, if they're gonna be around for a while. And I guess maybe I'm speaking from experience, but it's just something that you can normally pick up on after you've experienced it. I feel.
By the way, really quick, we'll get back to the conversation here in just a moment. Andrew, I don't know if you're watching, the Crucible crew, he sent over a raid. He just finished up his live stream. So if you came from the Crucible, welcome, guys. We have Chest Bra. We've got some Australian. We got some Aussies here. So
let's go, baby.
They actually don't.
Confident, not cocky.
They don't think Australia exists. A lot of these people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they think it's a myth. It's crazy.
Don't even get me started on American stereotypes, but shit, man.
Oh, damn. But so
we're around. Trust me, we've got lots of spiders, lots of kangaroos.
Everybody in the chat is telling me we got to get Andrew to do a call-in. I mean, I don't know if You guys want Andrew on the call?
I mean,
or-
who the fuck is Andrew?
Andrew Wilson. He's like a frequent. He does video call-ins.
Is he the one on this other show?
Yeah, and he comes.
Oh, I like that dude. Take that back. I
Yeah,
like that
actually,
dude. He's cool. He's really cool.
We were saying something positive about him on the way here.
Yeah, I was hoping he was to be on this show. He's pretty cool. Yeah, check him out, bro.
we were bringing up.
Andrew. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, we're bringing up how
He's crude. I like him.
we were bringing up how he stood on his moral ground on that podcast.
Yeah,
where
yeah, he was cool.
He had a blow up with that alpha male.
Oh, Wes Watson.
Yeah, and I was just like,
Yo, fuck that dude,
yeah.
man.
Me and Said were saying
What a
like he
loser.
stood on his moral ground in terms of valuing the quality of a good relationship and being married. So. Yeah.
We could, if you guys are cool with it. I know we got a full panel already, but if you guys,
Do you want to do it now, or when do you want to
we
do
could
it?
call him in. We could
Let's
give
go,
him a call.
Andrew. Let's go.
I'm buzzed.
Liam,
If you want us to talk to someone who's had 21 coffees,
you cool if we have him join in, or
how long for?
we could do the whole show? I mean,
It's your show, Brian. Whatever you want to do, bro.
Yeah, I gotta think.
I'll take the pressure off.
I can't check with the sponsors live. That's all.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could have him do a brief call in later. I need to even ask him if he can.
Call him later.
yeah.
Tell him Chess Bro's a big
Check with
fan.
the sponsors as well.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'll see.
But we were literally talking about this just before.
Let Andrew compare abs with chest bra.
Hey. I'm bulking, bro. I'm humble. I'm not cocky. I keep the shirt on. But I'm cocky, so that's why I'm wearing a singlet.
But so let me ask you a question. You mentioned the terms grooming, exploitation when it came to these age gap relationships. Couldn't you make a similar argument towards the younger woman in these cases?
Oh, absolutely.
Because, for example, if they're dating especially old men, typically.
Epstein, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like
So, well, I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that when the age gap is so significant, typically what you'll see from women is this is a financial angle here. A 22-year-old dating a 32-year-old, there can be love there. But like 22 dating 62, she's probably after the money.
yeah,
Not
no,
always.
Not always.
Maybe, but probably.
Not sometimes they're just dumb, like
So
I was.
Wouldn't
but-
that just be predatory on their end?
Absolutely.
And
I
is
feel
it
like women
mutually
date men
predatory?
just for the money all the time. All the time.
Sure. So
Not for me though. Been there, done that.
But so then who's the more predatory one when it comes to these age gap relationships? Like, is it predatory, for example? Let's say there's a 22-year-old and she's got her eye on Ryan Reynolds, who is, how old's Ryan? He's like 48 or 45 or
Is
something.
he really?
Let me see his age.
His age is
He's
just-
47. Or he turns 48 in 3 days, October 23rd. Like, wouldn't it be predatory on the young girl's age, the 22-year-old woman,
Yeah.
to be going after Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, absolutely. Because I feel like at that point it's like preemptive. It's like a strike on getting that
It's a
person.
strike?
Yeah, it's like you're thinking about like unless you're meeting somebody organically, I feel like you're kind of going into it with a certain purpose, and that would definitely be predatory. Like if you've seen that guy and you go, or let's say somebody goes up to you and you weren't with your current girlfriend and they're like, I know you, I know the money that you make. That is completely predatory. Completely predatory.
Wait, a female saying
Yes,
that
a
to me?
female. Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't think that, to be honest.
If it's like
I feel like it's like the males who like could be like a bit predatory, but I don't know. I can't see like a female like trying to put her on me and then trying to pick me up for my. I don't know. I can't see that, to be honest. I can see it from a man's point of view, like, but it's how often have you seen a woman who's like older than a man and dating a man and she's got more power and more money than the guy, and she's putting on the guy and she's got all the power. Like, can you guys name any relationship like that? I don't know. I'm a bit old school. I think it's the men that can be a bit predatory. I don't know if a woman can actually. I don't know. I just don't see it, to be honest.
Okay.
You mean like an older woman going after a younger?
Yeah, like a cougar. She's got lots of money. Single, divorced woman has all of her ex-husband's money, and she's dating like younger men who are like broke and poor. That could be okay. Sure, that could probably be predatory, but how often do we see that? I think it's more so for the men.
It's more common,
Yeah,
certainly.
it's more common for
It's
the
much
men.
more common.
So I just think that's something that we see more in men, but obviously, like, there's always outliers. But I'm speaking for the majority here. So I think majority-wise, it's probably more like a male-dominated thing than a female.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's definitely more common in that way. But I think there's just, in general, a tendency for women, even if there's not like an age gap, like a big age gap, for women to date a little bit older, like 1, 2, 3 years. That's like tends to be the norm.
Pretty normal.
Like you guys are all 18. I don't know if you
18.
Yeah, how old's your boyfriend?
18.
Oh, okay, well, you guys are 18. Your boyfriends are all 9, or you two boyfriends are 19. There'll be like smaller age gaps like that, 18 to 19, 18 to 20, 19 to 21, these sorts of things. I think it's just more common in general. Women tend to date up a little bit in terms of age. And I think the average age of marriage, if you compare between men and women, like women, it's 28, I think, and men, it's a bit older. I think it's 30. So I think it's just kind of common in general to see this, and this is probably because
Maturity.
women also, it's not just, I don't think it's a one directional thing. I don't think it's one directional thing where you have like these men, they just want to date younger. It seems like
Unless you're
women
Leo
want to date older.
DiCaprio.